My initial review of the Galaxy S25 Ultra was, well, let's just say that it wasn't exactly a glowing one. For my first impressions, I was fully prepared for that signature Ultra moment. You know, the one where you peel off the plastic, fire up the device, and immediately start justifying gimmicks and upgrades that nobody needs. But instead here I took a long, skeptical look and I thought, did I accidentally order the S25 Plus? I mean, sure, Samsung did make some changes, but at first glance, those changes are as noticeable as common sense on the internet. Look, the same 5,000 milliamp hour battery, the same RAM size, the same storage, and then in a truly baffling move, they removed Bluetooth from the S Pen because apparently only 1% of users actually used it. Now, I don't know what's crazier here. The fact that Samsung thought this was a good reason to remove Bluetooth, or the fact that they kept stats on it as if it were some kind of S Pen Analytics Division 1 tournament, right? But I digress. Since then, I have come to realize now that the S25 Ultra is one of those rare phones that's better in practice than on paper. The bulk of the many yet subtle changes this phone went through might not scream revolutionary, but once I actually put this phone through its paces, meaning testing the camera, pushing the battery, putting it through, day-to-day life, I started to notice something. Samsung didn't just tweak the S25 Ultra this year. They refined it in a way that is a lot more meaningful than people think. Let's go ahead and take specs, for example. Now, I'm sure that you've noticed that Samsung's big push this year isn't just AI, it's raw performance as well. As a matter of fact, there is a bigger accent on raw performance. The S25 Ultra comes with the Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy. This super high performance chip has been customized for the S25 series, making it not only 40% faster, but also making it run cooler. I'm also sure many of you have stumbled upon countless videos testing and comparing the S25 Ultra's efficiency to that of the Galaxy S24 Ultra from last year. The S25 Ultra constantly stays a few degrees cooler when compared. Now, sure, it's not a big thing, but it is a sign of efficiency, right? You have better efficiency here, especially when you consider that it's also delivering a 35% jump in graphics performance. Now, in my usage of the past couple of months, that difference has definitely felt palpable. Opening heavy apps and documents has been seamless, and the same goes for heavy games. And by the way, if this is your first time visiting the channel, welcome of course. Please do me a huge favor. Hit both the like and the subscribe button there. I truly appreciate that. All right, so you can really feel that push in extra performance. Also, that extra speed and power are not the only reasons that I've, slowly fallen in love with this phone here. The fact is the integration of AI into my daily routine or into my daily life has made it so that I really cannot go without this phone anymore. This phone, along with Galaxy AI, have been top notch. And no worries, I do understand that it may not be everyone's cup of tea. AI may not be for everyone, and some people may even go as far as calling it, a gimmick. But is it though? I mean, it certainly works pretty well for me. Granted, Samsung is marketing it as the other reason or the other main reason to upgrade, which to those who feel like new AI features are just novelty tricks might sound ridiculous. But to people like myself who go deep into AI, when using AI, it's definitely a compelling reason to upgrade to this phone. Again, Galaxy AI has been super impressive here, and it's pretty much baked into my daily routine, as I mentioned. In fact, it's been so good that it truly highlights how just unimpressive Apple intelligence is. And also, speaking of unimpressive, the biggest contributor to my not so great first impression of this phone was the design. Yeah. I know this is, subjective, but I'll say it again. This thing feels less premium to me. It feels less premium than last year's S24 Ultra's model. I mean, lighter than the S24 Ultra? Yeah, sure. More refined? Debatable. If anything, it's like Samsung's designer were told to, streamline the Ultra line. And what they did is they decided to just sand it down until it felt generic. I mean, to me, it truly feels generic, just bland. It needs a little bit more character, like the S24 Ultra did. That's again my own subjective opinion. Plus, design alone, doesn't make or break a device. Especially, one that 99 or more % of the population is just gonna slap this into a case and, forget about it. Overall though, the user experience is what matters. And Samsung made a ton of subtle upgrades that have overall enhanced my user experience. Something as simple as the slight increase in display size to 6.9 inch and shrinking those bezels by 30%, by the way. Shrinking the bezels, making them even skinnier by 30% has made media consumption an absolute blast on this phone. And many don't even know that Samsung actually introduced Pro Scaler on this display here, which is an AI-powered upscaling feature that enhances clarity here by 40%. Again, it's the quiet little things, the little things that matter. Also, my anti-reflective feature is still there, and I still absolutely love it. All right, let's go ahead and talk battery this time. You think that with the same 5,000 milliamp hour capacity, things would be identical. But yeah, no. The S25 Ultra actually lasts longer. In my test, when compared to how well the S24 Ultra did last year when it was still new, the S25 Ultra still has close to 40 minutes of life left, coming from someone like myself who's a power user. Again, when comparing to the S24 Ultra last year. And an even larger difference when streaming video, so you get even more life left when streaming videos when compared to the S24 Ultra. Although charging speeds haven't improved, right? They remain the same. Samsung stuck to 45 watt wired and 15 watt wireless charging. And so far with my usage, doesn't really bother me, right? I've never really found myself running out of battery and I'm out there, right? Charges relatively quickly. It's just that when you compare it to something like the OnePlus 13, you know what? I don't even want to open that can of worm, but I digress. I was just quickly sharing battery for me personally. Now, switching to camera here, and this was, at first, what initially looked like a disappointment because on paper, not much has changed. Sure, there was that new 50 megapixel ultra wide camera, but the main sensor and telephoto cameras remain mostly the same. But then I started taking photos and I noticed something. Images looked just better. Just plain and simple. We want to keep it simple. Images just looked so much better. Samsung's new Pro Visual engine is doing a lot of heavy lifting here. Colors are less, oversaturated, skin tones are more natural, and details are better preserved. And when you put it side by side with the S24 Ultra, shots coming from the S25 Ultra just look better. They look a bit more professional. Samsung even went further with video, adding that log video recording, which is huge, by the way. It's a huge deal for content creators specifically. It lets me capture a wider dynamic range and gives me more control in post-production, assuming it's content that I'm going to be editing later to post on social media. It's been a blast taking both photos and videos here. In fact, I now recommend this phone based off of camera alone. And that's very telling. Sure, with competition getting tighter, you can find cameras with even larger sensors out there. But as far as ease of use, range of pro features, and even sheer versatility, the S25 Ultra is one of the best all-around smartphone cameras you can get right now. That's my take, and I'm sticking to it. Plus, Galaxy AI takes it to the next level, as I mentioned here. I truly love using this camera. Now, with everything that I've shared so far about my experience, here's my take. The Galaxy S25 Ultra isn't a radical redesign, but it's an upgrade in all of the right places, and I now highly recommend this phone because of its 40% boost in performance, as I mentioned earlier, top-level AI features to those of you interested. Fantastic camera. I absolutely love the camera here. Better battery life. I mean, don't just stick to the fact that it's 5,000 milliamp hour. It's a better battery life experience that you get on here, on top of cooler temperatures. Plus, you also get that 7 years of software support. And let's not forget a very robust ecosystem in case you want to go ahead and purchase other devices. But that's just my take about the S25 Ultra after using this for, a couple of months. I certainly hope that this was informative. What do you think of my take? Let's get that back and forth going in the comment section. I would love to read what you think of the S25 Ultra. Pick a category, or if you want to do a full-blown, paragraph or multiple paragraphs explaining. I love reading your take on that, as long as you're not trolling, right? I love reading your takes. You could pick design, tell me what you think of it, pick performance, and so forth. Battery, all of that good stuff. I'm looking forward to reading what you have to say about this. Let me know what any questions you may have about this too. I'd be willing to share what my take is as far as answering your questions. I'm going to catch you in the comment section like I always do. By the way, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Like I mentioned, I'm going to catch you in the comment section. Make sure to like, make sure to share the video if you know anyone who would be interested. I'm going to catch you in the next video. Up until that next video, of course, as always, stay safe out there.